Hello, everyone. I'm back. Thanks for waiting. All right. Welcome to the session. My name is Ayman Al Khalifa. I've been delivering IT trainings for the past, since 2008. I've been around IT in several areas, software engineering, AI, cybersecurity, cloud computing, and so on. I like my sessions to be interactive, so if you have any question at any point of time, please feel free to ask right away. Although we have a Q&A at the end, but your questions during the session are welcome, because this is how we will maximize the learning, right? Worst case scenario, you're going to ask me a question I don't have the answer to. Well, it's a chance for me to learn something new. So please be generous with your questions. Anyway, Copilot is going to answer all of our questions later on. If you have any question, concern, anything that we can help with at all after the session, please reach out. This is my LinkedIn account. I will be more than happy to help and assist after the training. But now let's make sure that you can see my screen, you can hear me clearly, you can see me. Some feedback through the mic or chat window would be great. Can you see me? Can you hear me? Can you see my screen? Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right. Interact with me by the mic. Feel free to write in the chat, raise your hand, whatever suits you, but please engage. The first question is whether you have the Microsoft 365 license, Microsoft 365 Copilot license or not. So if you have the license, please raise your hand. Or type in the chat window. That would do. No, all right, all right. Okay, so I'm gonna assume on this session that you've never used Copilot, and then we will build from there, all right? I will run this session a little bit different than the previous ones. It's gonna be more hands-on to allow you a chance to see different Copilot capabilities in several applications. All right. For those who wants to try simple prompts, you can always go to copilot.microsoft.com and then you can chat with Copilot and you can try it over there. But for now, we're going to begin with simple prompts on applications that some of you are using based on their persona and based on their role. So some of us would use PowerPoint more, some of us would use Excel more, and so on. I'm going to begin with Microsoft Form, assuming that maybe you're from training department or HR or any department that actually requires to create forms and collect feedback, collect, let's say, surveys from employees or customers. And we know to design a form, what we need first is a pen and a paper, where we write the fields and then decide the data type for every field and so on. And then we go for actual designing. Here again, we type the labels and then we choose the data type for every field. But this is old news. New news is we can draft it with Copilot, right? I can basically ask Copilot to generate a form to, let's say, collect feedback after a training session, all right? After a training session, right? That was my prompt. Just zooming in so you can see it. Just want to collect feedback after a training session, and then I'm going to click generate, where Copilot will do the needful. And voila, I got the training session feedback. How would you rate the overall training session? What did you like the most? What could be improved? And different questions. The ones that I like, I can keep. The ones that I don't like, I can simply delete. If I want to modify something, I can add here, add additional question for general remarks or notes slash comments, right? And I'm going to send that. And Copilot will append that modification or that question to the generated form, general remarks or comments. And then I'm going to click on keep it in order to keep this. And remember, it's the same interface on all the other applications. So this is where I add more modifications. This is where I view the previously generated content. This is where I edit my initial prompts. And if I don't like, I like the generated content, I just delete it, regenerate it, or keep it if I like it. So I'm going to keep it. And our form is ready. There we go. That took us a minute and a half, 2 minutes. Yeah. So more time for what matters. That's what Copilot is for. Copilot is there to help you excel in your work. Find more time to be innovative. If you're busy with the amount of tasks that you're supposed to do on daily basis, then you will not have room for creativity. Copilot is going to help you find room for creativity. Okay, Moza, we're gonna make it bigger. There we go. These are the generated questions. There we go. Yeah. And if I want to modify at any point of time, I click back, and then Copilot has some suggestions to improve my form. Look at that. I'm gonna click on it and see the suggestions from Copilot. It's generating some ideas now, and it's like, okay, how about we change the design to one of these. If I like them, I can select one of styles. Oh, maybe I want to simple, I want to skip this one. So I'm going to choose any of these designs, and there we go. Copilot even helped in designing the form for me. Now, other suggestions. Let respondents save and edit their responses. Why not? Send a receipt for respondents. Why not? So I'm going to apply all of those suggestions, right? Good to go. Other suggestions. So you look at what Copilot is suggesting. It could be design-wise questions or settings, all right? And apply the ones that you want, skip the ones that you don't want, and close the window, and you're good to go. Your form is ready, all right? And that was how to use Copilot in Microsoft Forms. But those who brainstorm, those who co-author documents together, what they can do is they can go to Copilot in Loop. I know many of you did not hear about Loop. So Loop is a fancy OneNote. If you've used OneNote, what I can do in Loop is to create a new workspace. All right. And on my new workspace, I'm gonna name it, let's say, market research. All right. And I will create it. I can immediately share it with my team members. But for now, it's gonna create it. And Loop has a couple of pages that I can add here, right? And in every page, if it's shared, then I will get icons of the team members accessing the Loop page, and then we all can write content together, co-author document together. Now, the difference between this one, Loop, and OneNote and Word, for instance, is that in Microsoft Loop, you get web components. So if I click on insert, for instance, look at this. I can go from subpage, table, checklist, check bullet points, dates, call out, code area. All right. and different other components that would make the page looks like a web page. All right. Progress tracker, you see some Kanban board if I'm doing project management, or I'm strategizing for a project and so on. Mention a person. So all these components doesn't exist in OneNote or Word. Okay, there's a question here, Mota. The difference between collect and view responses is as follow. Let me just open a random form that was generated by Copilot as well. Preview, that's for me to see how would it look for the end user, all right? But if I want to share this form in a form of a link or something. So when I click on collect responses, it will give me different options. All right. First of all, settings. Who can access this form? Anyone can access this form. But if I want it only for my organization, I would go like only people in, and then you will get your domain here, your organization name here. All right. Do you want to capture the name? Yeah, why not? One person, one response per person, or people can do multiple responses. Maybe I want to share it with specific people, then I would write their name here. But for us now, I'm gonna make it for anyone can respond. And now different options. I can add people and share it with them. Maybe I'm sharing it with my colleague. Let's say Shirin. There we go. If I want to change the description, I can rewrite the description with Copilot. But if I'm displaying this on a PowerPoint or during a meeting, online meeting, maybe I need a QR code. So I click on QR code and I get my QR code. I can download it and then distribute the QR code. Or if I want to embed it in a web page, I would need the embedding, the iframe for those tickets. But if you just need a link, here it is. There's the link. You can copy it. But the link is going to be very, very lengthy. Yeah. So maybe you click on shorten URL so you get a shorter link. Then you can copy this link and send it to collect responses. And that's the difference between previewing and collecting responses. This one and this one. I hope I answered your question, Moses. Back to loop. Now, in here, let's say we want to do a market research or market search or market research, for instance, all right? I want to see the competition of my company, right? So we're into solutions, trainings, AI systems, cybersecurity systems, and so on. So we do our portfolio is a bit wide. So I want Copilot to go to the market, the local market, do a research, get me my competitors, their pros and cons, and so on, and then I'll take it from there. All right. In this scenario, I can ask Copilot here to write something, or I can simply click on the plus sign and then click on draft page content. I can see the Copilot icon. So by clicking on the draft page content, Copilot is suggesting a couple of things for me to do. Let me zoom in so you can see. Maybe you want to draft an agenda for a meeting. Maybe you want to brainstorm character names for an animated movie. Maybe you want to describe what the weather might be, and so on. So these are just suggestions for you. What I want is, I'm going to ask Copilot to create okay, let's say, compare the different competitors to technology and list their pros and cons and suggest suggest our, let's say, selling points for the sales team and our competitive advantage. There we go. So that was my prompt. Okay, it could be anything. And then I'm gonna send this one to Copilot. Yes, Moza, your hand is up again. There we go. We got, I'm trying to zoom in so you can see. I'm closing this part here. Yeah, I'm zooming in. There we go. Quick intro, competitor analysis template, competitor one. So it created the competition template for me. But I didn't want template, so I can click on the Copilot icon here and then rewrite this one or ask for something more. Do the actual research and comparison based on Qatar market. And let's see what it will do. I'm testing this one with you. I've never tried this prompt before. We're going to try it together. We're going to stress test the model. Please change your writing. Okay. Do a research and comparison based on Qatar market. Let's see. I didn't like that one. You're right. Who are my competition in Qatar? The thing is, and I know where the confusion is happening to Copilot. Is that because we have so many services, it won't be able to find, but it will find a competitors for every service that we have. But the point is, I was able to draft something in Copilot, and then I can ask Copilot in here to modify it. Maybe create a table, create a table, all right, color color coded with icons for the competitors for my team to fill because we're creating a template, right? There you go. Sending it to Copilot. You see, and you have history of all the requests that you initiated with Copilot. Let's work on it now. Let's see the result. There we go. I got competitor one, competitor two. You see these icons, the pros, cons. Maybe I wanna talk about cons before, bro, so I can really switch it. Okay. Tech knowledge and so on. What is this? Technology selling points, competitive advantage, competitor one, competitor two, and so on. If I want a new topic, I go here down here and then forward slash, all right, and then ask Copilot to do whatever I want or add new components from here. So basically, this is loop. Okay, I have Copilot access here, panel. Now I can ask questions and interact with the document I have in hand. So if it was me generated this document, maybe someone else will go to Copilot panel and now ask questions, all right? What files did I open last week or summarize this document or any question related to the content in hand. So that was a quick overview of Copilot in Loop. But then we have a question here. How can we use it in Excel? Well, let me fire up Excel, switch to my training tenant. Open my sample data. I will zoom in. All right, I will zoom in. I will remember, right? Okay, so this is sample data. And by the way, all of those columns were added by Copilot. Copilot analyzed my data and then suggested new columns for me to augment and enhance my data. I didn't have a total revenue. record, for instance. Copilot suggested that. Let me show you how to do it. Basically, you first of all, you need your data to be saved or your file to be saved in OneDrive or SharePoint. Copilot only sees documents exist in OneDrive or SharePoint. Number two, for Excel, your tables has to be formatted as a table. Let me show you how. If you go to the Home tab, there is format as a table. See this? Just pick any format that you want, doesn't matter. What we want is once you apply the format, Excel will convert this to a table that has a name. You see, this is a named range now. So now Copilot can deal with it better. This will allow you to speak to Copilot by the names of the columns. You say budget, it would understand. You say revenue, it knows now this is column F. Once your data is ready, now you jump to the Copilot icon that exists on the Home tab. Once you open the icon up, like any other application, Copilot will suggest a couple of prompts for you, demonstrating its capabilities within this application. Starting with suggest a formula column. So I'm going to click on suggest a formula column. It will write this prompt, suggest a formula column. It will take a look at your data, try and analyze it, and then come up with a suggestion. So for instance, here, it suggested revenue per day. If I really need this piece of information, I can simply click on insert, and it shows me where it will be inserted. If I click on insert, there we go. If I don't want it, I can go for another suggestion. Ask Copilot again, suggest something new for me, create a formula column. And there we go. Total profit. I don't have total profit. How come? But I insert it. All right. I'm not going to insert it. Apparently, I'm not doing good in profit. So I'm going to leave it. And then maybe I go for another one. All right. So it's up to you. Okay. So let's let's do this again. What I clicked on is suggest a formula column. All right. And then it added this column for me. The data is not important now. The capability is what's important. Okay, so it's suggested here. Let me zoom in. So it's suggested here revenue per day. It showed me the data range it looked at. And then it explained it to me. Calculates the daily revenue generated by each campaign by dividing the total revenue by the campaign duration in days. And then here is the formula. And this is the sample data. And I was able to insert it using a button here called insert column. So if I do that again, so you can see it again, sorry for the last time, so just a formula column, and then a new suggestion. There we go, total profit. Right, description, sample data, insert column. All right, but then I can actually write a prompt. I can say show data insights, or show data insight. Or I can ask for a graph that presents the efficiency of every campaign. But as if it heard me, it actually created this graph for me. Take a look. I said show data insights. It goes like campaign efficiency by campaign type. Digital marketing. This is how we're doing. Brand marketing, and so on. If I want it, I can click on new sheet. Once I click on new sheet, it will create the pivot table for me that generated the data, and it will create the pivot chart for me as well. All right, going back to my initial sheet. Now, again, I can say show data insights. What will happen? It will show me a different insight now. Mm, it came back to the same one for a reason, but usually it goes for another one. And if I don't want to go for insights one by one, I can click on add all insights to grid, and then it would create a dashboard for me. I clicked on add all insights to grid, or I could have typed it, Arabic or English, it doesn't matter. And then all the insights that it wanted to show me, it will create them in one sheet. There we go. These are the insights. These are all of the insights that the analysis that Copilot did with their data tables, the pivot tables. But the thing is, maybe I have my own analysis. Maybe there is a certain report that I want to generate. So I want the report to follow certain analysis. I want to look at certain things on my report. In that scenario, go for advanced analysis, right? There's this option. That's a deeper analysis using Python. So Copilot will write code and will use Python algorithms in order to analyze your data. So let's take a look. I'm going to click on analyze or advanced analysis. It's asking me here that it will create a new sheet and it will automatically write and insert the Python formulas and answer my prompts. Should I start? Yes. So I'm going to click on a start advanced analysis. Let's see. It's going to start by opening a new sheet, first of all. There we go. It will start now by preparing the data set, right? And it will begin with the first analysis that it found, and then it will wait for me to write questions, and then it will answer them either by a table or a graph, right? So this is what it has. Maybe now I follow up by writing a prompt of what I want, or simply choose one of those prompts. Visualize the correlation matrix to identify strong relationship between variables. If I have a correlation matrix, okay. Maybe I'll go for analyze the top performing campaigns based on revenue and efficiency. Why not? So I'm gonna click on this one. Again, you could have wrote this or choose the suggested prompts by Copilot. So we asked for the top performing campaigns, and there we go. We got them. All right. Maybe now we want to visualize the top performing campaigns, a bar plot. That was the prompt. And we got the result. So if you run out of ideas, you can ask Copilot what else I can do or show me more ideas. But I'm sure you have your own report that you want to generate. You know exactly what you're looking for. So you will write those questions to Copilot and then Copilot will generate the report for you. Right? Let's see the impact on duration and efficiency. So analyzing the impact of campaign duration on revenue and efficiency. And then Copilot will append that to the result. There you go. And then, of course, you can go like, oh, change this graph, do this and do that. And once you're done with your report, you have to stop the advanced analysis session, right? I'm going to click on stop advanced analysis. And now I can go back to my main sheet. So what we've tried so far is creating a formula or suggesting a formula. We tried this when we said show data insights, because if I click on summarize using pivot table, it will basically create a pivot table and a pivot chart for me. Let's looking at the data range now, analyzing it, and then it will get back to me with the right pivot table or pivot chart or both of them. Meanwhile, let's explore the other options that we have here. Uh, um, if you want to filter something, sort some cells, highlight cells based on values, the simple things that you do, Copilot can do them. Or if you want Copilot to generate a formula for you, it can generate a formula and then copy it and so on. So basically, most of what end users do while formatting or working with Excel, Copilot can do that as well. For instance, if I click on, if I try this option here to apply color and formatting, so let's highlight all cells with values less than 600. That was my prompt. Highlight all cells with values less than 600. I'm going to click on it. And now Copilot is telling me, oh, did I get you right? You need cells value less than 600. So I'm going to apply the following. The fill color will be yellow. The font color will be black. If that what you want, click on apply. Otherwise, write another prompt and change the formatting. Or initially, when you started the first prompt, say highlight all cells with this color, okay, and be more explain more what you want. Now I'm going to click on apply. So if you have um, lots of steps that you do usually in every Excel, you arrange it in a certain manner or sort it or filter it and so on. You can have a prompt prepared somewhere. Every time you just bring the same prompt, paste it, and you get your same format as if you recorded a macro. There we go. I got my format. And of course, this is Excel. If you don't like this, you can simply click on undo, right? And it would undo it. And then if you have a lot of data and you don't know what is going on here, you can ask Copilot. Yeah. Either ask Copilot on a functionality, how to do one, two, three, or ask Copilot to help you explain certain piece of information. And then let's say, okay, I want to explain this to the team. All right. So I'm gonna um, focus on the campaign owner, name, launch date, campaign type, budget, and revenue. Right. I'm gonna copy this one, go to Word. I was doing this training in Sidra, and one doctor was like, I have a lot of data and I want to analyze it. I want to write a speech about it and analyze it so I can explain this to the team. All right. So in Excel, we can do that, but he wanted in Word. So my workaround was paste your data in Word and then select the data that you want Copilot to work on. There will be a Copilot icon after to the left of every selected data in Word. Click on the Copilot icon, and then it will prompt you with three options: write a prompt, auto rewrite, and visualize as a table. It's a table already, so I want to write a prompt. When I click on write a prompt, Copilot panel open, and then I would go like analyze this data to explain it to my manager. Manager, what am I writing? Manager, there you go. So this was my prompt. And then I'm gonna click on generate. And as you know, I can delete it. I can regenerate it. I can go to different versions if I have. I can follow up with a question here. All right. I can go back to my edited version. I'm zooming in. I hope you can see my zoom in. Can you see it? I'm zooming already. I'm zooming in already. Can you see when I zoom in like this? I just zoomed in. Let's just confirm that you can see this part. Okay, so I'm gonna keep it and then I zoom in the pages so you can see. So this was the data, analysis of marketing campaign data, summary for manager as requested. All right, some intro here and then digital marketing campaign. Now, what happened is Ayman Majzoub, late Jan, email, launched on. That's the name of it, right? That's the name of the campaign. Okay. Launched on this date. It took it as number because it was number here. The format was wrong of the date, right? The campaign had budget of this amount and generated a revenue of this amount. So this is something that I can share, and people who not good with tables, they can read this and understand, right? Customer experience campaign, branding, marketing campaign. So the different campaigns and then the takeaways, right? If I want, I know this one doesn't make sense. Of what I will do now is not making any sense, but I'm just gonna do it to show you the option. If you have data, you can select this data, and then when the Copilot icon appears, what you can do is visualize as a table. I'm gonna click on visualize as a table. So it's getting me the table back. So if you don't have the data as a table, you have text. You can ask Copilot to convert that text into table, whatever the text is. Okay. And for those who like to paraphrase, you can select any piece of text. All right. And click on the Copilot icon and then auto rewrite. Then you get suggestions here of the rewritten content. You can follow up with a prompt or a question to modify the tone or something, and then replace. But if you want to draft something in Copilot, again, click on the Copilot icon and ask Copilot to do anything. Let's say, generate a list of lesson learned and suggestions. I know it has the takeaway already, but let's do this. I'm just asking Copilot to generate a list of learned, lessons learned as suggestions. And then I'm going to click on generate. Right? Keep it. Let's take a look. Lessons learned. Digital marketing. Email campaign, particularly those targeting specific regions, can deliver high performance and engagement. Nice. Customer experience. Industry conferences are effective for engagement, but target marketing strategies require further refinement. So there you go. So whatever you want, Copilot can generate it. Unlike if you write something for Copilot on this panel, you write a prompt for Copilot here in this panel, the result will appear here, not within the document. If you ask Copilot on this panel here, it can generate content and dump it immediately, the body of your document. So I can go like summarize this document as a prompt, then send it to Copilot just to demo that part. And then I get my answer here. I got the summary of this document. This document provides an analysis of various marketing campaigns and so on. Based on my campaign, Excel, customer experience, into the rest of it. With references. The benefit of those references are if I want to know from what part of the document it got this key lessons or this customer experience initiative, I can click on one of the references and it will highlight the piece on the document immediately. Click here, highlight this one. I click here, highlights this one. And then I can change the tone and go like make the summary more formal or make the summary more casual. I can extract text which is written on a certain image. So for instance, I'm going to use snipping tool, yeah, to snip this PowerPoint. Okay, snipping tool. Then I'm going to snip this PowerPoint here. Save it on my downloads. You can't see me saving it, but I'm saving it. And understand, extract text from an image. Now it's immediately asking me to upload from this device. I could have just clicked on this icon here to upload. So upload from this device. Now I need to choose from download the image that I want and then send it to Copilot. It will go through it and extract it. Just want to compare. All right. So extracted ministry under the from the ministry, and that's the first part of the logo here. Then Microsoft Copilot Foundational Training. All right, that was the title, and then the text that was written in here is there the presenter, so it was able to extract all text from it from this image. And then if this was a proposal, for instance, or a ready document, and I want to understand or jump to a certain part of the document, I can ask questions, all right? How can I more concisely describe, let's say, the brand marketing campaign? Okay, this is my prompt. Sending it to Copilot. First one, okay, there's a technical issue here. So what we can do is save the document, demo marketing, okay, to my OneDrive for business. I'll try again. For a reason, it doesn't want to hear me today. But I can ask a question like this. Is there a call to action on this document? Yes, it listed the call to action items. Optimize target marketing campaign, I continue leveraging email campaign, and so on with references as well. All right. Let's say create an image relevant to the content of this document, right? So I'm creating an image relevant to the content of this document, and I'm sending it to Copilot as a prompt. So it will try to generate. The last time I checked this, used to create a couple of images, and then you get to decide which one you want. Creates 4. So let's see what will it come up with. So do you have any questions so far?
Hello, Ayman.
Any
Can you hear me?
questions? Senores,
Can you hear me, Ayman?
Shadi, if you said something, I didn't hear you. Maybe my sound settings wasn't correct. Now
Can you hear me
it's
now?
fine.
Yeah, are you able
For a
to hear me
reason, I
now?
still can't hear you.
Are you able to hear me now?
Can you try again, please? Got it.
Hello, hello.
Well,
Can you hear me now?
yes, Shadi. Thank you so much.
All right.
All right, so
Yes,
hit me.
yeah, yeah. Um, okay, so I want to ask you about a use case example here. Like, say a couple of months ago, I wanted to do like a personal finance, sheet on Excel where I could, just track my personal finances. Where, on the first sheet, it would show me my monthly expenses, and the second sheet, like I could simply just input every transaction over there. So, I mean, the way I did it was I went to, ChatGPT and, I described to it what I want and in a simple way. And it kind of gave it to me in like 60% accuracy, you could say, in terms of the columns that I wanted and even the formulas. Um, and like even the formulas, like I asked it to do it multiple times and it just wasn't really proper. So I had to do it manually. So, I want to ask you, like, how would you approach such a project? Would you go to like Copilot directly? Would you do it from Excel, or, what's the best way to do something like that?
Thank you. Okay. I'm gonna answer your question I'm gonna leverage your question to demonstrate. Allow me. Okay. So in Copilot in Teams, you see this is our meeting. So in our meeting, I'm gonna zoom in. There we go. So I'll go to Copilot and then I'm gonna ask what was Shadi's question. All right. Um, this demoing that Copilot in Teams will allow me to ask questions and follow up on points that I missed. All right. Or maybe I joined the meeting late and then I ask for a recap for the meeting. All right. And then Copilot will help me. It's a personal assistant that knows everything. So creating a personal finance sheet in Excel. The point I did this because I want to try doing it in front of you and I don't want to write the full prompt. So I was like, let me get Copilot to write to me what you want. I can just copy it. Right. Finance sheet in Excel to track monthly expenses and transactions. I'm gonna take it like this, okay, as it is. And the way I would do it, I would go to Teams, all right, and then copy it from there. Because in Excel, Copilot doesn't actually create documents for you. It's there to help you with your existing data, all right? So either Teams or Word or Loop, okay? Anything that can generate content or OneNote, any one of them. So what I would do is I will go to Teams, I'll go to chat. In Teams, I will go to chat and then I will go to Copilot. So let me pop this Copilot in a new window. All right, here is Copilot in a new window. So I can zoom it. Okay. And I would paste my prompt here. Create a personal finance sheet in Excel to track monthly expenses and transactions. Now, this prompt is very vanilla, very vague, right? The best way to write prompts, sir, is as follow. You always start with a goal in mind, okay? Let me switch the display settings because it went to another screen, not the one that I want to. So I'm gonna stop my presentation, went to my other screen. And then monitors, I want number 2, I guess. Still the wrong one. So I want number 3, apparently. Sorry for this. Now we're talking. So prompting is very important for you to get the result, the required result, without iterating multiple prompts to enhance. Okay. So we start with a goal in mind. What do you want from Copilot? Excel expenses, personal expenses sheet. But then add some context. What are the columns you're looking for? Okay. Be more specific with Copilot. Or the other tool that you mentioned. So why do you need it? Okay, well, because I want to track 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, is there any special formulas you want in place? Write it in the prompt. Is there any source you want to get the data from? Do you have a sample data? Share the sample data as well. Okay. Is there any expectations? Usually, when generating text, we go like, we want the tone to be professional. We want the tone to be friendly. We want the content to be bullet point table and so on. So here you would say a table that I can use in Excel. Okay. Um, Maybe you want CSV file. So it depends on how you want to format the content, your expectation. Do you want the content, the generated content, lengthy or short? You have to add your expectations. If you will learn one thing from this session, please learn these four elements of a successful or an effective prompt. If you have all of these, you will get your result faster and you will reduce the iterations modifying the prompt. The example that I have here is that maybe I want to summarize this meeting, but usually our prompts ends here. The right thing to do is to add some context. I was a little bit late. I want to know if anyone mentioned my name. Did I get any task assigned while I'm not here? And so on. Decide about the source. The source could be a website you want to direct it to, or a particular person. Maybe my manager name is Muhammad. I'm interested in what Muhammad said while I'm not here. All right. And then your expectation, you want a project timeline and so on and how you want it. And this would be your final prompt. So if you can share with me a couple of columns that you want, that would be great to enhance this prompt. Otherwise, I'm going to have to send it as it is. So to save time, I am going to send it as it is. Let me get the chat window so I can see what you guys typing. All right. Okay, so I've created a personal finance sheet, okay, a monthly expense sheet, and then a transaction sheet as it says here, or maybe I got it wrong. So there is a link for me to click on in order to download the sheet. So it got downloaded. Let's open it up and see. There you go. Very minimal. Why? Because my prompt was very not very clear, right? So date, category, description, amount, and then transaction. Okay. So treat Copilot as if you're telling your personal assistants you want and expense tracker sheet. You would explain the columns that you want. Yeah, from this personal assistant. So do the same with Copilot, right? That
Okay,
is my
I think
approach.
this is a good example actually. So I mean, it gave you now like some columns which you aren't satisfied with. So at this
Hmm.
point, would you like directly ask Copilot in Excel to add more columns or change it, or would you go back to Copilot? Or maybe depending on the complexity of it.
Either you can do any of them. Any approach would do. Yeah. But
Okay.
the thing is, sometimes Copilot in Excel would not create a column unless there is a lot of data to analyze. You can try it. If it works, fine. And remember, this one has to be saved in OneDrive for Business for Copilot here to see it. For now, I don't
Mm.
even see Copilot. Let me enable editing first. Okay, because my downloads are already added to OneDrive for Business, Copilot would work. But in your case, maybe the downloads are not there. See, it doesn't see it. It's not added. It's asking me to turn auto saving, which means upload it to the cloud first. So maybe it's easier for me to go back to my prompt and modify. Yeah,
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much.
you're welcome. You're welcome. And then, of course, like any other Copilot in all the other applications, I can follow up with questions suggested by Copilot. And for all the other applications, you can visit this icon, which is prompt library. You click on the prompt library, it takes you to more prompts. So you would get a clue of how else I can use Copilot. So for instance, do you have any other questions so far? Yeah, no questions? So that was, we still have demos in place, but then let's chill a little bit from the demos and go back to the concepts. So back to the basics. What is Copilot? It's just another language model, all right? It's as same as ChatGPT. In fact, Copilot is built on top of ChatGPT. However, OpenAI doesn't use the same ChatGPT for Copilot. OpenAI has a private instance, a private copy of ChatGPT, which is utilized by Microsoft for Copilot, right? So it's not the same ChatGPT. That means Copilot will not learn from your data, unlike ChatGPT. ChatGPT learns from your data. Anything you share with ChatGPT is used to train the model, which means when you share corporate data or personal data with ChatGPT, ChatGPT remembers. And if I ask ChatGPT about your personal or corporate data, ChatGPT will happily answer my question and expose your data. Sabil, all right? It will expose your data. Copilot doesn't. Not only because of the private instance that we mentioned a while ago, but because Copilot does not send your data to OpenAI. It works on your data within your organization because it accesses your data through what we call Microsoft Graph. And what Microsoft Graph is the actual layer that has access to your data. And it talks to Copilot whenever there is a question or a request for your data. So that layer protects your data. And Microsoft Graph looks like this, where it has access to all of your SharePoint and Microsoft 365 applications. I'm talking email messages. I'm talking your OneNote, your tasks. All right, the files shared with you, the files you're working on. It knows your colleagues. It knows what groups are you in, and so on. This is Microsoft Graph. And another difference between Copilot and ChatGPT is that it's part of your day-to-day applications. You don't need to go to ChatGPT, copy, and then come back to Office and then paste and work on your data. Yeah. And like ChatGPT, we can ground it to web, which means um, we will direct it to get data from web only or from my corporate data. Let's try it out. So in Teams, where we were here, first of all, I'm going to begin with the last point. Take a look at this. I have web and work icons. Web and work. Web means I want a general question, not related to my work environment. I want a cheesecake recipe. Why not? But then work, this is where my questions get uh, contextual to my, you see, webinar invite and all the suggested prompts. So I can say summarize messages from my manager in the last 48 hours, right? Summarize emails, tasks, and chats. Why not summarize emails, tasks, and chats? Send that. And then I would get my summary. But then, of course, this is my, wait a second. This is my production environment. So I'm gonna switch to my test environment and then demo this to you guys. All right. There we go. All right, Copilot again. I'm gonna pop this one on a separate window. So I'm gonna go for summarize, hoping it will pick up something from the history. There we go. Summarize all my emails, chats, tasks, conversations, and meetings. All right, and send that to Copilot and get the summary. This is the training data, so all the data here are dummy data. Right? So Copilot in Teams is the one that has access to everything. Because usually Copilot works on the document that you opened currently, but still it can get more information from other sources. But this one is the hub, right? When you ask a question, it knows to go everywhere and search everywhere and then come back to you. And this is the proof. I summarized my emails. I was able to see my chat summary. There will be the tasks assigned to me as well, and so on. I can ask it to follow up question and say, prioritize the task for me, plan the day for me, right? That will tell you what's missed, what's not missed. Is there any email I did not reply to? And then it will tell you what emails you didn't check or didn't reply to. Okay. The panel on the right is where you have the chat history. And the right thing to do whenever you want to go back to a previous conversation, open that conversation, all right? And then, sorry for this, this happens sometimes, as well as in ChatGPT, it happens. Sometimes you lose the connection. So yeah, so you can go back to a previous conversation, open that conversation and pick it up from there. All right. But whenever you want to start a new topic, you start with a new chat. Avoid talking to Copilot on the same conversation about different topics because you will cause Copilot to hallucinate. Leave separate topics in different chat conversations. Another cool feature in all those applications, PowerPoint, Word, and Teams, is that if you go to a new chat, for instance, while you're writing your prompt, you can actually reference content. I can click on Add Content, and then it will tell me what content do you want. Do you want to refer to someone, or maybe a file, or a particular meeting, or an email? The source, remember, objective. I forgot the second one. Objective, expectation, source, and context. Okay, so you will choose what you want. And when you click on files, you get to know what files Copilot supports by seeing the files in your OneDrive for Business. It sees Loop. It can work with Loop. It can work with PDF. It can work with PowerPoint, Word, Excel, and so on. So I can say, for instance, let's say list the action items of, and then I can type / to get me the add content panel, /. And then I will choose one meeting, or I can start typing the meeting name. Maybe I go like MCIT, and then it will filter all meetings. The meetings that it shows here, it doesn't mean these are all of them. You can refer to a meeting, you don't see it by typing the name. You can refer to a document it's not listed on this panel by typing the name of the document. As long as it's in OneDrive or SharePoint, Copilot will fetch it. So list the action items of this meeting and then send. The details about the meeting All right. There you go. I got the action items and so on. Okay. Any generated result, again, it shows you references. You see, you can click on it and go to that particular email, right? You can copy it, you can share it. But one nice feature here is that maybe I want to modify this content before sharing it with the team. If I want to share it with the team, I can immediately click on share and share it with the team. But if I want to modify it, like ChatGPT, you're gonna copy it, take it to Word or Notepad, and then modify. Not with Copilot, because you can click on Edit in Pages, and then it will open the result, the generated result here, and now you can add or modify anything. All right. Once you're done, now you can share it or copy it and then take it somewhere else or wherever you want. Another cool feature. Do you have any questions so far? More questions? Right. So another cool feature is that um, nowadays what we do, we go to ChatGPT, write a message there, and even with the writing tools in Apple devices and so on, we write what we want and then we let the tool to proofread it and rewrite it for us in a professional way. Or yeah, we're in the run, maybe we want something quick, and then the tool will do it for us. We have the same capability here. So if I go back to ChatGPT, maybe I open up a conversation with a colleague of mine, Beckham or Kareem, okay? Um, and maybe I have this message written to Kareem. Hello, Kareem. I'm just doing a demo. Please discard this message. I hope your eat break was good. All right, whatever. Okay, this was part of a previous training. So I'm going to use the same example. I wrote the message, but I want, maybe Kareem likes a lot of text. I want to generate a longer conversation. There is a button here with the AI icon on it. You see, those stars are nowadays are the AI icons. I'm gonna click on it, and Copilot will start rewriting the message immediately. Okay, maybe I have typos and so on. If I don't want the generated content by Copilot, what I can do, I can click on adjust. Okay, or just rewrite. But if I want to adjust the tone, for instance, maybe I want it longer, so I click on longer, and then Copilot will work on it. And uh, where are you, Kareem? For a reason, I missed it. There you go. Make it longer. It keeps jumping me here. Let me do it again. The zooming messed it up. So I'm gonna make it, I insist on making it longer. What is happening with Copilot today? It doesn't get any longer or what? Make it concise. Okay, I don't want it longer. For a reason, it's Copilot is not helping me today. Let's make it more confident. Maybe it has a problem with Kareem. Let's try Beckham. It keeps sending me to Beckham. So let's try. Hello, Beckham. This is just a demo. Scratch this when you read it. All right. And there you go. Rewrite. Professional. It worked. Or maybe that account is closed for a reason. Kareem. It works here fine. All right. Hello, Beckham. This is okay. This is what I was generating. Brilliant. Let's adjust. Let's make it more confident. And so on. Let's make it longer. I insist on making it changing. Okay, there you go. Length works. And then I have the previous history of the generated messages to compare. And once I'm satisfied, I click on replace. There you go. I can send my message now. I wanted to let you know that this is just a demo. Please discard this message once you've read it. So that's another cool feature. But then if I want to take a look at the previous history with Beckham, I will click on the Copilot icon. You see, once I click on the Copilot icon, I can say, oh, highlight from the past 30 days or highlight anything related to this project and so on. And then it will tell me the highlights. Summarize, what did Beckham say about so and so? And then I get the details of my conversation with Beckham, right? As well as on the Copilot icon that access everything, I can say, what is new related to, and then mention a topic, Qatar Vision 2030. Mahmoud, yes, the recording will be available. You will receive the recording in an email from our team after the session. لا تنسونا من الدعاء صالح. So I got anything related to the vision as I requested from my organization, the digital agenda. There we go, some initiatives from the web. Okay. So I can mention a topic, I can mention a time frame, and so on. Any questions? So any questions? All right, so amigos, Copilot exists on all Microsoft 365 applications, but it's not the only flavor. We have different flavors. We have a free Copilot that you can go to from copilot.microsoft.com. We have a paid version for individuals, okay, not corporate accounts, individuals. And then we have the MS365 Copilot, which is Copilot now is part of all of those applications and more, all right? But then we have GitHub Copilot. That's for developers to help them write code. And then we have Dynamic 365 Copilot, CRM, ERP. Copilot is embedded in there and so. And then we have the Power Platform Copilot. That's for those who works for the app makers, for those who automate processes, for those who create applications. They can now ask Copilot to create the application for them, or ask Copilot to automate a workflow for them, or ask Copilot to generate a Power BI report or a dashboard for them. Now, and then we have Security Copilot. It's part of Azure now, it's part of the security ecosystem. It can answer you questions as as simple as were we under attack last month? And then it tells you yes or no. If yes, here are the indicators of compromise and so on. Yeah. Copilot is for everyone. It doesn't matter. You're a business user, you're a leader, you're specialized. Copilot is for everyone. And by the way, all those images are created by Copilot. The common factor between all of these roles is the art of writing an effective prompt. All right. And we've seen some examples. Let me show you one example of how to write an effective prompt. We said we start with a goal of why we want Copilot to do something. So I'm gonna start with a goal in mind, assuming that I want to write a blog post. I have my prompt ready. I'm just gonna zoom in. Okay, that's too much of a zoom in. And it's better if I open it in a new window so I can zoom in here. Get rid of this interface. There we go. So let's say I want to write this prompt. You can see it. Can you see my prompt clearly? All right. So I want to write a blog post on how AI benefits small business. This is the goal. And usually we end our prompt here. We don't add why we're doing this, who's the audience, who am I, and so on. So now we're adding context. As a tech blogger, I educate small business owners about technology. My audience seeks practical insights into AI applications. Now you're giving context. Now Copilot will help you better. But then I want to specify now the source of information from where Copilot will generate the content. I don't want any website. Copilot can go to Wikipedia and get me data. Well, anyone can write anything in Wikipedia. So I want to go like use recent data and examples from reputable sources like Gartner or Forbes, focusing on AI impact and real-world success stories. Again, I specified the context and I specified the source and I elaborated on the context as well, what I want. Lastly, expectation. The post should be concise. Why do you write emails in ChatGPT and after ChatGPT generates a very long email, you go like, can you make it short, please? Well, you could have wrote that on the initial prompt. So the post should be concise, clear, and structured with introduction, main content. Remember when we said mention the columns that you want in the Excel sheet? Here we go. Even in Word document, mention the format of how you want to structure your document. Main content highlighting AI benefits and challenges and actionable advice. Maintain an engaging and informative tone. All right. Let me send this to Copilot and let's see what Copilot will come up with. As long as this is not work related, I could have easily have done it in web. Now, there you go. How AI benefits small business. I got my intro. I got the AI for small business. Starting with 1, enhancing efficiency and productivity, improved customer insights, cost saving, decision making enhanced, and then challenges and of AI adoption, initial investment, data quality, skills gap, actionable advice for small business. There are the advices and a good conclusion. At the end, you want to edit it, click on edit pages. You want to copy it immediately, you can copy it. Here are the references and so on. The full list of references. And then it even follows up with a sample prompt so you can use it. You can click on, can you provide more recent examples of AI stories, and then send it to Copilot. And of course, Copilot will generate that for you. And there we go. It generated from my organization. So it means that the dummy data that we have, automotive manufacturer, retail sectors, and so on. I could have mentioned on this prompt from the web to define or specify the source. All right. Any questions so far? No? Then let's create a PowerPoint using Copilot. So when I click on PowerPoint, remember this demo marketing that we saved? It was under this account, okay? So I'm gonna need to switch to this account. And then start a new presentation. Click on the Copilot icon. You see? Then I get this where ask Copilot questions if this is a pre-prepared document, or create a presentation. So I'm going to click on create a presentation. Now Copilot is going to ask me a presentation about what? So I can click on / to reference the document, or I can click on reference a file. They're both the same. So I'm going to click on / and my file that I generated in Word earlier was demo marketing. I'm going to click on demo marketing, write a prompt to add the context, maybe source, maybe your expectation of the generated slides. But for the sake of this demo, I'm just going to keep it as it is, and I'm going to send it to Copilot. So Copilot now is not going to generate a presentation from a topic, although it can. It will generate a presentation from an existing document. And the good thing is that Copilot agrees with me, first of all, about the outline. Oh, I'm going to start with campaign overview and then digital marketing to the rest of it. Okay. Maybe I want brand marketing before customer experience. I can simply drag it here. Or maybe I want to add a topic here and ask Copilot to say, explain marketing marketeers, whatever. Okay. And then send that to Copilot. So Copilot will generate a topic which was not on the document, and then I can add this to lift it up a little bit here, and then generate slides. So I'm going to click on generate slides. Now, what will Copilot do is it will generate the titles of the slides. It will generate the slide content. It will add the images of the slides. It will create the animation of the elements within every slide. And it will add presenter notes for every slide. So it will tell you exactly on every slide what to say. If you like what you have here, click on keep it. I'm going to click on keep it. Go to the normal layout. You see, this is the first slide. Because it was generated from by AI, it says AI generated content may be incorrect, so you have to check. And here are your notes. This presentation provides a comprehensive analysis of various marketing campaigns and to the rest of it. And if you display, it's animated with proper images. There we go. And if you take a look at the presenter view, this is my presenter view. I see the current slide. I see the next slide. I see the notes, which was generated by Copilot. And it created sections for me. I bet many of you didn't even know that the PowerPoint can section slides and use them like this. Yeah. So now I can go to Copilot icon and interact with my document, have a conversation with my document, ask questions, all right, understand, summarize this presentation, show key slides in this deck, and so on. Like the same things we've done in Word. And but what's interesting here is that if I click on show key slides on this deck, it summarized the 24 slides into 4 slides. These are the key slides based on the context. And I can even play only the key slides. I prepared a big presentation, and then my manager go like, okay, I got 5 minutes before my next meeting. Okay, Copilot, key slides, there we go. Fundamentals of marketing, do we all understand this? Are we on the same page? Moving on. Well, importance. This is the importance. And now let's see the insights. All right. Customer experience lessons and overall campaign effectiveness. We're good to go. Done. You got time? I'll go through the details. All right. Do you have any question? So if you are using OneNote, we have Copilot now to help you draft content, retrieve information, summarize information, and ask questions. All right. So Copilot is there in OneNote as well. If I do this demo, it's gonna be just follow everything we've done. Everything we've done in all the other applications. Moza, yes, the team will send you the recording. They're working on them. They're supposed to send you all the recordings, right? And if for any reason you didn't receive it, reach out to us. And I shared with you my LinkedIn. If you have any question, also reach out to me as well. Right here is my LinkedIn account. There we go. All right. Anytime, senorita, anytime. And if you're interested, it's not really very active, but I do have a channel where I upload some stuff. So it would be nice to see your likes and comments on the channel as well. All right. Now that we've now that you don't have any question, we're not gonna let you leave this session empty-handed, all right? Microsoft want to share a certificate with you. But before you get the certificate, there is this website that you can all access to get to see more prompts. Okay, those prompts will help you get a clue based on the role, based on your role, based on the product. What can Copilot help me with? Right. So the website is I shared this in the chat window. It's this one. Let me get a proper formatted URL and demo this site for you as well. aka.ms Copilot Lab. Right. It wanted me to sign in. There we go. It's in here. That's called the prompt library. You will get videos here and some prompt examples in here. I believe the internet is a bit slow. So I'm going to skip this part to save you time and jump to the Copilot certificate that you will get. In order to get this certificate, I'm going to need you to sign into Microsoft Learn using your profile, and then click on your profile, click on achievements, and then redeem your code. Here is the code. I will make it easier for you by sharing a link, all right? I'm going to share a link. With the redemption code. The thing is, if you don't have a Microsoft Learn, the first part that you will do is to create and activate your profile. So it's going to ask you for your name, write a proper formatted name because that will appear on the certificate. Okay, this is called the achievement code. Highlighting it here. And our next request from you after achieving or after redeeming your achievement code is to fill the evaluation form. And for the evaluation form, remember the trainer name. It's AI man. Yeah. So scan the QR code or click on the link that I will share on the chat window. You're welcome, Shadi. Yes, Muhammad Ali.
Assalamu alaikum.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.
I have two quick questions about Copilot. Does Copilot able to make a summary of PDF files and they can also extract content from photos?
Yes, extract content from photos, yes, and we demonstrated it. We uploaded a photo and we asked it to extract content. It extracted all the text on the photo. And the answer is yes, it can upload and work with PDF documents to summarize them and so on.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Anytime, Abdel Hadi. My pleasure. So if you're done with the achievement code and you redeemed your certificate, by the way, once you redeem your certificate, it will appear under learning path. Okay, it will appear under learning path. From here, if you click on the link, it will take you to the training course. But if you click on print, you will be able to see your certificate and print it. If you want to share this certificate through an email or something, you can always click on share. So if you're done with redeeming your certificate and you're done with the evaluation or trainer feedback, please feel free to leave the session. Thank you all for your time. Thank you all for your engagements. And I wish you all the best. Moza, how can I help? Yeah, you're going to need to create a profile first. So click on the link. It will ask you to sign in. Sign in with your personal account. Should be Hotmail, Outlook, Live, and so on, or your corporate account. So once you go through creating a profile steps, then you can redeem the achievement code. So please, I'm here with you. Redeem, and let's carry on. Anytime, Moza, anytime. All right. At the end, again, I want to thank you for joining our session. Stay tuned for more sessions to come. Register on the website. Follow us on social media. We're on LinkedIn. We're on Insta. I wish you all the best on your future endeavors. Salam alaikum.